Morning guys, it is Sunday, May 6th, and today I will be working on the rust again. I'm just adding a coat of white Hammerite paint and probably do another coat tomorrow or later today. This morning Jordi already worked on the solar panels because we had to connect them to the battery still, to the solar charger, and we didn't find any power, so there was no signal. And apparently the cable that we used on top to connect the solar panels to each other or to the solar charger don't work. So we'll have to see how we fix that today, if we will be able to do that. But first I'll start with the paint and I will make a little time lapse for you guys. It's now 6:30 and we are calling it a day. Jordi spent the entire day working on the electrics and everything works. So I'll show you what it looks like right now. The solar charger is behind this wall attached to these two beams, and cables run down both from the solar charger as well as from the plug sockets and light switches here in a direction in which they have to go. It looks a bit messy, but all cables were left a bit too long just in case we need to replace or move something down the line. Then we have enough cable length to do just that. It is very neat and tidy, even though it doesn't look that way. And all cables might not have the perfect color because we didn't have it in stock, but all of those that didn't have the right color do have tape around them so that we can identify them and that anyone else can too. Jordi ran these cables down through some holes in these brackets, and he separated them by everything that comes from or to the solar charger and everything that goes into the panel that has the light switches and plug sockets. That was just for convenience, and it ended up this way, but it is a good way to separate it. But also these brackets were not big enough to hold everything, so that's how they were adjusted here. We will eventually make a cabinet around here just to protect that, because we can access every cable from the appliance or the solar charger if this cabinet is closed. But that's just to prevent any possible water damage and other damage by suddenly bumping into it or something. So this door works perfectly as well. We have some very tight hinges so that it doesn't just open on its own. Then here we have the inverter, which is installed as well, which is connected now to the 230 volt side of the distribution board, as well as straight to the leisure batteries, which are down here. Now we currently have everything hooked up to one leisure battery, and that's just because we wanted to test everything to see if it works. And it does work. As you guys saw yesterday, the lights already switched on, and that still works. But we also have the fridge running, the fan is running, everything works. Now we still have to ground the entire circuit to the van, to the metal frame of the van. Then we have 4 fuses left to install, and they will be in between the solar panels and the solar charger, then in between the batteries and the inverter, and in some other places, I don't even know currently. But we have 4 fuses and they still need to be installed. So those thick cables back there will be used to connect these batteries to each other, and those flyers we still need to read, but they can go out eventually. But other than that, it's very, very neat and tidy, and we specifically wanted this because we see that in many vans things are just installed randomly against a wall, and it probably works just fine, but we wanted something that was very safe and secure. So having this door and the floor on top, as well as the box in there which can be locked, it seemed like a very safe solution. Now these light switches work as well, so let me check. Yes, they work. And to see whether or not these USB sockets and plug sockets work, we also charged Jordi's phone, and that worked to treat as well. So now this just has to be installed into that frame using these side plates so that it's all neat and tidy. And here's the solar charger in its position in the middle of our wardrobe, and it works perfectly as well. So we're very happy to see all of these lights and this monitor working. Yeah, very happy about that. And all these solar panels were also checked individually to see if they had the correct voltage, and they do. So those all work, which is amazing. This morning we thought that something was wrong with a cable that connected them in the middle on the roof, but that was fixed. And we will now keep all these appliances running through the night and over the next few days, just to check how much power they use and if everything works according to plan. So far everything seems alright, and I will show you guys the fridge now because I'm very excited about that. So here we are at the entrance, and we have the wood burner next to the fridge, and here we go. So here we are at the entrance with the wood burner, and there is the fridge, and as you can see everything is working, and it feels very cold already, so I'm happy about that. And we even have a freezer there. And it's quite a large fridge, and we went for that because we eat a lot of fresh food, and although we don't consume meat or much dairy at all, we still have a lot of veggies and fruits and stuff like that that we'd like to keep refrigerated, as well as we like cold water, but the water tank is obviously just room temperature, or van temperature if you will. So we'd like to keep some of that refrigerated as well. But we also have our dogs on a fresh food diet, meaning that we have a lot of meat in the fridge and freezer. So this was the perfect item for that. It is the Dometic CRX 110, so if you want a similar one, that's the one that we have. We will link that in the description, by the way, if we don't forget. And we'll link the wood burner as well again, just because we like them. But yeah, it's a nice size fridge. And then I worked on the roof today to finish sealing off the brackets, the Renogy Z brackets for the solar panels. And that, well, it was annoying. Since these brackets are quite low to the roof, I can't really reach under them. So the ones that are at the side of the van, we can get a little bit more access to press the sealant into place, but the ones in the middle are a bit more difficult because there are ridges next to it, so it's very difficult to reach under it. And that's obviously because there is a lower ridge in the middle. That's obviously where the water settles, and that's probably also where we had the leakage. But I think I managed to seal those two off. Now the only two that I didn't manage to seal today were the ones that are very close to the Max Air fan, and that's because they are very close to the Max Air fan. I really can't reach them. I will give it another try tomorrow. For anyone that's using these Renogy Z brackets to connect the solar panels, whichever solar panel they may be, please use a strip of rubber or some adhesive before bolting it down. So either apply that to the bracket or to the roof and then bolt it through, because there is no fun in taking off the sealant and the screws to take off the brackets off of the roof. You can't disconnect the solar panels because you cannot reach the bolts. So and sealing afterwards, it's horrible. It took us a few hours to seal this stuff on 2 days, so not worth it. To you who recommended using rubber or cork underneath, yeah, should have done that. So that's it for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you like seeing the electrics. We will probably show you more actual stuff tomorrow. I just couldn't take the camera on the roof because it was very hot, and it wasn't safe to take the camera with all that sealant and the high temperatures. But we will take you along tomorrow to actually show some stuff. The white paint looks alright, by the way, that I showed you at the start of this video. Although this will be covered in a plastic thingy that's always at the entrance of vans. It looks alright, and I think it's protected well enough for that step to go back in. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night!